Business owner took legal action after she says the mayor refused to sign paperwork she needed to open her business. Regina Waldrop was in the court for today's hearing.
This is the third time this year that this case has been before a Cook County judge. Today, the owners of the business are able to walk away with 2 of the 3 liquor licenses they applied for, while Mayor Henyard is facing a serious charge from the judge. Frustration and relief for a small business owner.
It's about time.
There's a mix of frustration and relief for a small business owner today. Finally, Tiffany Kamar walked out of a Cook County courtroom holding the liquor licenses she needs to open St. Patrick's, a family-owned restaurant. Kamar took legal action after saying she couldn't get the licenses from Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
We want her to be fined, we want her to pay my client's attorney's fees, and we want damages.
We are wasting money every day. This building, nice building that people could have used, and jobs.
As for that criminal contempt charge, the judge is giving Mayor Henyard time to respond. This matter heads back to court next week. Reporting from Daly Center, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Who also acts as the liquor commissioner. On Wednesday, Cook County Judge Cecilia Haran ordered Henyard to sign the licenses by 5 p.m. Thursday night, but that deadline was missed. This is the city girl mayor's doing. She's been at this for a long time. About a year ago, I reported how she was sabotaging local businesses she couldn't shake down for money. This business owner here, another...
In court Friday, Henyard signed them after the judge threatened her with contempt. After the licenses were signed, the judge found Henyard in indirect criminal contempt, but she wasn't taken into custody.
There are different kinds of contempt. What that means is that in the presence of the court, the mayor was disrespectful to the authority of the court because she was asked by the judge, will you sign the licenses, yes or no? And instead of answering the judge's question, she was, she didn't talk in circles. So because of that, the judge held her in indirect criminal contempt.
Max Solomon is Henyard's attorney.
It's very important for the people to understand that the documents that were signed today had another entity on there.
And so that was the holdup on your...
That was the holdup. That was the only thing.
The black woman is just one of dozens being crushed by Tiffany Teflon Tahoe Mayport. CHOP has been holding her back, refusing to grant the licenses she needs to open her place, causing her to lose a ton of money. On top of that, she had to spend even more fighting the mayor in court. Now the business owner got a win, and Tiffany Tahoe ended up with a criminal contempt charge. Max Solomon is Henyard's attorney. He says it's really important for people to understand that the documents signed today included another entity, and that's what caused the holdup. That was the only reason for the delay. Kamar says she's lost time and money because of all this, and now she wants Henyard to pay up. I'm sorry, but the judge should have locked her up on that charge, just like they would with anyone else. We already know she was acting belligerent. That's just business as usual for the city.
Girl mayor.
That building should have been open by now, bringing in tax revenue for the village. Instead, Tiffany Tahoe was sitting on her licenses, just like she's done with plenty of other businesses, all while running up the village and township credit. Cards. Let's not forget, a whistleblower came forward over a year ago exposing how Tiffany Tahoe told them not to issue licenses to people who didn't support her. The way she treated me and others was just wrong. Saisha Williams is one of 3 former village employees suing Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard and the village of Dalton. Williams says the workplace got worse about a year before that, starting when the mayor asked her to do things she says were unethical, withholding building permits and business licenses from people who didn't donate to her campaign or people she just didn't like. Williams says she kept raising concerns with the mayor but was later moved to the water department, then eventually fired. I was the only person who knew how to process business licenses at that time, but they moved me to the water department anyway. I remember covering this a while back. It was no secret the city girl mayor was holding back business licenses from owners she didn't like or those who refused to support her campaign, so it's no surprise she pulled the same move on this woman right here. It's completely wrong and 100% out of order. Now Tiffany Tahoe has an even bigger problem on her hands. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is wrapping up a years-long investigation into how the city girl mayor took over Dalton with a surplus of millions then drove the village so deep into debt it hit a deficit of around $6 million at its worst. Last night, the village gathered to hear more details about that investigation. Take a look. Lightfoot investigation. Good evening. I'm Erica Sargent, and I'm Joe Donan. We start here at 6 with breaking news. A long-awaited investigation into a suburban mayor's spending is about to be revealed. Dalton is facing a multi-million-dollar deficit, and people want answers. We're live at the Dalton Park District, where at any minute, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot will present the findings of her nearly year-long investigation. Ari Monter is there. Ari, you've been following this story from the start. What can we expect tonight? Well, Erica and Joe, first things first. Mayor Lori Lightfoot just arrived about 4 minutes ago. I'm told her investigation will reveal some new financial mishaps here in Dalton. Now, this is considered Dalton's financial report. Let me take you inside the meeting happening right now. You can see it's packed. Very few seats left for this session, which is set to begin any minute. Last year, Dalton trustees hired Lightfoot to get to the bottom of missing financial records, which Mayor Henyard refused to share with them. A few months ago, Lightfoot gave a sneak peek of what she found. She uncovered overtime for 2 Dalton officers, including a former deputy chief. That was more than double their annual salary. Lightfoot also revealed the village spent, get this, $40,000 on Amazon in a single day, despite not even having an Amazon account. But the biggest discovery, Dalton is operating $3.5 million in the red. Keep in mind, Mayor Tiffany Henyard has opposed this investigation from the start. She initially vetoed the probe, but the veto was overturned by the board trustees. Tonight, residents tell me they wanted to hear the results of this year-long investigation in person. You said you wanted to be here tonight. Why? It's history. We've been fighting this for 4 years. Do you believe people might say, you want to find out what happened to the money, but you're spending money paying Lori Lightfoot to dig into this? It takes money to get money. Remember, this is a special town hall meeting, not a regular trustee meeting. So, Tiffany Henyard likely won't be here. She's not even required to attend. Whatever. I do what I want. Lightfoot's investigation puts a huge spotlight on how money in Dalton was completely unmonitored. When trustees raised red flags back, in 2021, the investigation shows Mayor Henyard and her administration intentionally tried to mislead the public. The Dalton Fieldhouse was packed with residents waiting anxiously to hear what former Mayor Lori Lightfoot uncovered. Nearly a year ago, Dalton trustees hired Lightfoot to track where the money went. I'm very disappointed, says Anthony Williams, a longtime resident who wanted to hear firsthand because many here didn't know the full story. The investigation found credit card spending was out of control and went unregulated. In many cases, the Board of Trustees couldn't even track or see credit card purchases over the last few years. From 2022 to 2023, credit card spending jumped to nearly $780,000. Lightfoot couldn't determine what many of those purchases were for, or if any were municipal expenses. She says she faced many roadblocks from the administration. There was a coordinated, systematic effort by Mayor Henyard and others in her administration to hide the village's true financial condition from trustees and the public. Much of this is detailed in Lightfoot's final report. In her preliminary findings from last August, the investigation was called a waste of taxpayer dollars. It left those running for office and pushing for change in Dalton questioning the overall spending and the guardians of the village's finances. Not just the mayor, but the entire legislative body, including the trustees. Current trustees say hiring Lori Lightfoot was necessary to expose whatever was being hidden. The moment they stopped receiving information, they knew something was wrong. After years of trying to get to the bottom of it, Lori's report came out critical of the administration. You might remember the $40,000 spent in a single day on Amazon, which Lightfoot had already reported. The report showed that Henyard claimed those purchases were for the village's ice rink, but that rink has never opened to the public. While this investigation was eye-opening, it's important to note that this is not a criminal probe, and Henyard maintains her innocence. Reporting. Live in Dalton, Jermont Terry from CBS News Chicago shared these updates. Lightfoot's report also highlighted questionable spending in Thornton Township. Tomorrow, trustees will meet for the first time since a new trustee, Stephanie Weed, was sworn in last week. With Stephanie now on board, the township has a quorum, regardless of whether Township Supervisor Henyard attends. There are expected to be major developments regarding personnel at tomorrow's meeting. It's good news that the township can finally start meeting again, and with Stephanie in place, trustees Chris Gonzalez and Carmen can conduct business regardless of Henyard's attendance. Back in Dalton, despite all the evidence, there are still people defending Mayor Henyard, even though she locked out the Dalton trustees from the finances for over a year while trying to cover up reckless spending. In 2023 alone, her credit card spending soared to over $700,000 in Dalton, and that doesn't include Thornton Township, where she was also in charge. Before she arrived, Thornton's credit card limit was about $30,000. She had it raised to $200,000 and spent like there was no tomorrow. Honestly, if I hadn't exposed this on YouTube over a year and a half ago, she would still be getting away with it because neither the true government watchdogs, who have been calling her out from the beginning. They sounded the alarm to get people to shine a light on what was really going on. It's clear she's been misappropriating funds, and since 2023, people keep asking where the federal authorities are. Trust me, they're on their way. Mark my words, Tiffany Henyard will be indicted this year, sometime between April and July. The feds didn't indict the people around her for nothing. It's coming. Now, let's get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about all this in the comments below. Special thanks to Roland C. for all your support, as well as Creed, Charles, Ag, and Samuel. You can show your support too. The PayPal link is down below. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want balanced analysis and the truth from a woman's perspective, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to like and share.